So what we have over here is just a small project, which is 25 by 32 feet. Okay, this is the total area, and having two bedrooms, then the kitchen, bathroom, staircase, lounge, and then some small veranda. You can see that. Okay, we have the columns foundation, the walls foundation, plan of the slab, of course, some legends for the doors, windows, and ventilation, and this is the front elevation. Okay, and let's say we are asked to estimate the abstract of materials and then, of course, the abstract of cost from the MRS. Of course, we will use the latest MRS, maybe the MRS of 2023 or 24 if that is available. And of course, there can be the hike in prices, maybe depreciation, okay, in the prices or in the video maybe. So we will consider that and we will have some percentage for that, does not matter. And we will complete this in the Excel. You guys can see the Excel, okay? Please confirm you if you guys can see the screen.
जी सर नजर आ रहा है।
Okay. So we have the length, then the width, and then the height. And then of course we will have the quantity and then unit and then remass. Okay. So this is the same table we always use. And of course, let's just get started. And now the thing which is really important, if you guys remember, we have already done a small project, okay, a one-room project. If you guys remember, we had two types of walls were there, like maybe the long wall and then the short walls, okay. And for the estimation purposes, let me just turn off the furniture and some other stuff so we can see the things, okay? So let me just turn off some layers and maybe the dots and let's say another things such as decks. Okay, I'm just gonna, I think it's good now. And let's just turn off the sanitary as well. Okay, we have sanitary over here. We have text. Okay, that's already turned off. Tiling, I'm gonna remove it. And then maybe some other things such as dimension. That's okay. I'm not gonna remove that. Okay. We have these things. Now, the thing which I'm gonna do is actually to name some long walls and short walls. There can be different types of long walls and short walls over here. Okay, I mean in number. Let me just say if we have the green color and let me have a rectangle. Let's say if this is the long wall, okay? Then of course we have few long walls. If I can say if this is the long wall because it is the same length with the top one. And even if I consider this portion plus you can say this portion and this can become a long wall as well because these two becomes one wall which is the same length as this one, okay? So now here, as you can see, this can be short wall, this can be short wall, okay? And I have already separated these things. So I'm gonna remove that, okay? Now, you as a quantity surveyor, you may have this drawing in hard copies, okay? You have to label them with different pens so it can be easy for you. As you can see, I have made some layers for that, like maybe let's say the short walls, okay? I have turned these things as the short walls. You can see the red. And of course, for the long wall, we have this green color. So long walls are four. As you can see, I have called or named the horizontal directions wall is long walls and the vertical, those are is short walls. You can use any strategy. That's your work, does not matter, okay? And even I have labeled some things for the easiness. As you can see, we have long wall one, okay? And I have written over there three in number. It means long walls are three, okay? In the same length, you can say. And this is one, where here we have that two, and this one is three, okay? And this is actually long wall two, and it is only one in number because its length is different. So I have called this is long wall two. Now, you may have multiple long walls. You can continue this thing like maybe long wall three, long wall four, okay? If the lengths are different. Now, as you can see, if I just delete this thing, over here we do not have a wall, okay? But the thing which is actually, if you see, this is also a wall. So I have included this with this over here. This is a wall. So it means combination of this element and over here that one that becomes a long wall, okay, which is equal to actually these two. So it means this is also included in the long wall one. Let's just jump into the Excel. And the first thing, as you can see, in serial number one, I'll be just calculating excavation. Now, description can be written from the specifications, but this time I'm gonna have only excavation. You can include multiple details, okay, in this column. Now, a number, I'm not gonna write something over there because we have, let's say, long walls, and then we have short walls. But long walls, as you can see, we have long wall, you can say one, and then we have long wall two, because over there we have different types of long walls, okay? That is long wall one, and over here we have long wall two. Now, long wall one, that is three in number. Okay, you can count, that does not matter. So long wall one, that is actually three. Long wall two, that is actually one in number. Now we have to put their lengths, and that's very important, okay? But for the lengths, we will actually jump into the same AutoCAD. As you can see, this is the wall's foundation. And the length, as you can see, this is 25 feet and 3.5 inches. Okay, this is the total length of the wall. But the excavation length can be different. It can be actually, we will add that length, and we will have actually, we will subtract the thickness of the wall from the foundation width. Okay, and then we will add the same thing at the difference with the length of the wall. And how it can become actually something like, maybe we will have, that is 3 feet, we will subtract the thickness of the wall, which is 9 inches, like let me say in the remars, okay? So I will say the length can be 3 inches, 3 feet. We will subtract the thickness of the wall, which is 0.75. We have already done these things, okay? So never be confused with this, okay? And then of course we will add the length of the wall, which is I think 25 feet and 3.5 inches. So 3.5 inches, that can be converted into feet, does not matter. If I can say, if you divide that by 12, that is become actually 0.29, okay? Plus 25, that actually becomes 25.29. So we can say 25.29. So it can become the length of the foundation, you can say, for the wall one or long wall one, okay? And that can be nothing actually. Let's say it should be 27.79. That's clear. So I'm gonna write that thing over here, 27.79. Why do we actually increase the length of the foundation? Let's say if this is the straight wall, okay? Now this is 10 feet in length. And let's say if we have the foundation, like maybe we have different steps, and I'm gonna have 6 inches, okay? Let's say we have 2 steps. This represents actually something which is, let me just make different color for that so you guys can see it. If this is red, okay? Now this external is actually the length of the foundation. However, the wall is just this green. Now we have to actually increase the length. Wait a minute. If you guys can see, this is actually the one length that is 10 feet only. But we will actually increase that, okay, for that step, which is 6 inches. And we have another step, which is 6 inches. It means 1 feet for one side can be increased the length of the wall, and then 1 feet for the other side. Is it clear? So it means 2 feet should be added for the foundation length. And if you see, as you can see, we have actually, this is the, you can say the weight of the foundation, which if I'm not wrong, is actually something like 2 feet and 9 inches. What we do actually, we subtract the wall thickness from the foundation weight, okay? Now, if you subtract 9 inches from this weight, it becomes 2 feet only. And then of course, then we add the length of the wall. So 2 feet plus 10 feet, it becomes 12 feet. Okay. And of course, the length of the foundation is 12 feet if you see. Okay. Let me just confirm it. As you can see, this is 12 feet. So this is actually the basic concept. The length of the foundation can be little bit more from the length of the actual wall. Now, what should be the width? As you can see, it's already known, which is 3 feet. So I'm gonna put 3 over there, okay, is the breadth. The height of the foundation, that can be just, as you can see, we have the ground level over here. And what we do, we excavate below the ground level. So 9 inches plus 6 inches plus 9 inches. That becomes actually 24 or maybe 2 feet. Now we have the quantity, which is actually the product of this thing, which is height, then the breadth, then the length, and then the number, and press enter. So we have 500.22 CFT is the foundation work. Now for the long wall 2, we have to actually look for the length of the wall. So for the same thing, the length can be now actually, like if I say the length is actually something, okay, let's say the length, it can be the length of the wall, which is 13.125, okay, and we will actually add with this something which is actually the thickness of the wall. We will subtract sorry, the thickness of the, or the weight of the foundation, we will subtract the thickness of the wall, which is 0.75. So this is going to be something which is actually the length of the foundation for the same wall. So 13.125 plus actually 3 minus 0.75, that becomes something which is 15.375. Okay, 15.735. This is in remarks. You can write that over here. Okay, 375. So this is the length of the long wall 2. You can put that over here, 375. Now the weight of foundation is just the same for both. And we will drag the formula below so we can have the quantity. So we are done with the long wall. Now we will have calculation for the short wall. And the short walls are actually different in number. You can say we have short wall 1, and these are 3. Okay, like 1, 2, and 3. And then we have short wall 2, and these are 2 in number, like this one, maybe, and over here, this one. And then we have short wall 4, which is only 1 over here, this one. And then, of course, we have short wall 3, which are 2 in number, this one and this one. So we have up to 4 short walls. So it means let's calculate excavation for the short walls. And as you can see, we have short wall 1, and then we have short wall 2, and then short wall 3, and then the fourth one, of course, short wall 4. Very simple. Now we have to confirm the numbers, okay? Short wall 1, that is actually 3 in number. So we will have 3 over here. Short wall 2, they are actually 2 in number. So putting 2 over here. And then short wall 3, they are 2 in number. Okay. Short wall 3 is 2 in number and 4 is 1 in number. Now we will have their lengths for the foundation. Okay. So the lengths, and we will actually follow the same process, but this time we will subtract that from the length of the wall. Okay, I mean the foundation. If you determine the length of the foundation, okay, this time, as you can see, we have a plus sign over here. However, for the short walls, we will subtract, okay, this difference. Very simple. Now, the length will be calculated, and let's just see it, how it works, okay? And we will have actually some annotation, okay? And these can be given in drawings. As you can see, this is the short wall 1. And the length of short wall, let's just see. This is actually the length, which is 11 feet and 3 inches. Now, how do we calculate the length for the short wall 1? And we will have actually, let's just say if we have some text, so you guys can clearly just learn about this thing, okay? Let me just switch on the text so you guys can see it. If I just have some copy over here, now the length of the short wall foundation actually, and that can be actually something like, if I have, just making sure that you guys can understand it better. And we will just not explain these things again and again, okay? I'm just gonna explain this only for one wall, okay? The length of the short wall 1, okay, that is 11 feet and 3 inches, okay? As you can see over here, I'm gonna have 11 feet and 3 inches. 3 inches means 0.25. Now, we will actually subtract the difference of the foundation's width and the wall width. And we can say like maybe minus, we will have the width of foundation, which is 3 feet, and we will actually subtract the width of the wall, which is 0.75. So this is going to be the foundation length for the short wall 1. And you can just calculate it very simple, like maybe 11.25. You have to subtract 3 minus 0.75. But remember, for the long wall, it was just like addition over here, okay? Okay, this becomes actually 9. So for the short wall 1, the length of foundation can be 9. Okay, their weight is just the same thing, like maybe 3, and the foundation height, that is actually 2. Okay, now how 9 becomes, so I'm gonna write that in the description. Like maybe we have the length of the wall, which is 11.25, if you guys remember that. Okay, and we have subtracted actually the weight of the foundation and minus 0.75, which is the thickness or weight of the wall. I'm not gonna repeat all these things for the remaining walls. Okay, now we have only one thing which is remaining, short wall 4, and let's just see if its length is, okay, that is 5 feet and 7.5 inches. So 7.5 inches, that is almost, if you divide that by 12, that becomes 0.625. Okay, so foundation length can be, like maybe you can say 5.625, which is the actual length of the wall, and we will subtract the same thing, like 3 minus 0.75. Very simple. Okay, 3 minus 0.75, that becomes actually 3.375. Okay, so equal, and we have actually 3.375. So this is the length of the foundation, 3.375. Okay, now the weight is just the same, the height is just the same, the quantity will be, you can say the formula can be applied, and that is in CFT. Okay, okay, so this is actually the foundation, you can say the excavation, and I'm gonna write something over here, like maybe total excavation. However, we have not yet calculated the columns foundation, so let's just do that. Okay, let me just say columns foundation. So for the column excavation, let's see, as you can see, we have the column, which is actually 3 by 3. You can say the columns footing. Okay, so it means that is only one n number, and that is 3 by 3. Okay, and the height, let's see, we have actually, as you can see, this is the ground level, and we have 1 feet and 6 inches, and then 6 inches. Okay, so it means that becomes 2 feet, and that is actually the same thing. So we're gonna drag the formula, and of course the CFT over here. So we have, this is the total excavation now. Yes.
सर ये कॉलम की एक्सकेवेशन जो आपने ऐड की इसमें, तो वो दूसरे एक्सकेवेशन में नहीं लग सकते सर ये कॉलम, क्योंकि इसका तो अगर हाइट देखे तो हाइट भी सेम है। ऐसा नहीं है कि हाइट ज़्यादा है, इसका एक्सकेवेशन थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा है।
और सिगरेट तो रखा हुआ ही है, हमने ऑलरेडी देखे, यहाँ पे हमने डिस्क्रिप्शन में लिखा है ना कि कॉलम एक्सकेवेशन है ये 18 CFT।
जी सर, सर समझ गया।
तो अब इसको सम करेंगे हम, ठीक है, ये जितना भी, ओके, सो नाउ वी हैव, एज यू कैन सी, वी हैव कैलकुलेटेड ऑल द एक्सकेवेशंस. नाउ लेट्स जस्ट auto sum them. Okay, we're here from this summation. So we have 961 CFT as excavation. Very simple. Okay, you can even just share these raws, so it can be clear for you. And this is number first, and that's actually, let me just save that like this color. So excavation is done. Now, number two, we might have, if you just see the foundation, there is actually concrete work, and that is, of course, 136, okay? You can see that from specifications, and it is 9 inches. So very simple, we're gonna actually calculate the PCC work now. PCC work, and you have to write actually 136, because there can be different PCC work in the same project. And that PCC can be applied for the same things, like maybe for all these things. Okay, so I'm gonna copy them over here and paste them over here. Now in number, they are just the same. Okay, for the PCC as well. So I'm gonna just copy and paste them over here. Okay, however, the length, width is just the same again, but the height is just different, which is 9 inches. Okay, so why not I copy these things, Control C and Control V over here. This is very easy, because as you can see, the width is just the same. It means the length must be the same. Only the thickness is just different, which is 9 inches. Okay, so instead of 2, I'm gonna put 0.75 for all. Okay, and we will actually drag this thing over here like that, and let me just remove that one. And I'm gonna actually have, let's just copy the formula, Control C, and we will paste it over here. So we have the formula. By double click, you can confirm that. And we will drag the formula like that and remove the that raw, which is actually, you can say empty. Okay. Now the PCC work that's also in CFT. So we can drag, this is actually why I love Excel, because it does the work very in short time, you can say. We have the total excavation, and then this time we have the total PCC work. I'm gonna write that over here. Total PCC 136, and this is actually in foundation, okay? In foundation, and you can even write the details for that over here in foundation. Now we will auto sum them. You can see that, select with extra cell and click the summation. So you can see that again, that's in CFT. Let's just have some shade for that, the yellow one, and then maybe some shade over here like the green one, because these are then easy. Okay. Okay. I think that is like this, because they are just then easy to be read. Okay. So we have number one, that is excavation, then number two, that is PCC work, and the total over here. Very simple. If you consider the, as you can see, we have brickwork, and these are two steps. Okay, one step this one, and then the brickwork in the walls. Okay, so we will do this tomorrow, inshallah. If there is any question, you may ask.